Talking about kiddos today on the follow through. We are in Psalm 127. We're going to be in verse 3. I'm Pastor Fred. Great to have you with us today. And again, you might be all over the map when it comes to kids. Kids are a huge responsibility. Many people see them as a kind of an interruption. They're to be seen, not heard, we hear. Now, as someone who has kids, I kind of take exception to that. I realize there are times like in a really tense business meeting, right? It's the deal of the century. Yeah, you probably don't want your kids, hanging from the lights and doing crazy things, jumping on the desk there. And that's part of having kids, right? Is teaching them and helping them to make good decisions. And jumping around during your business meeting is probably not one of those things. And so we look at this. I hope that we can see kids, that's my goal today, we would see them as a blessing, as something that is a gift from God. Now, all week we've been talking about building our lives and who is building that. And when it comes to kids, it just is such a great example of what the Lord gives to us and how the Lord is building when it comes to our lives, because you don't have kids without God. That just does not happen. That is His thing, that was His creation, that was His idea, that people would get married and have kids, and that they would be blessed, and that families would grow, and that people would have lives. Now, everyone, even if you're against having kids, and you're like, man, I don't have time for that, I want you to just kind of think, like, where's that coming from? Because you were a kid once, right? And you may have had a rough go of it, but look at how God blesses you, right? And it might be a matter of timing. I was there once, it was like I just wasn't ready. And it's true, I wasn't when I was really, really young. And God's going to give you kids at just the right time. And when He gives them to you, He's going to give you the strength. He's going to give you the wisdom. He's going to surround you with people who can help you and that are going to give you that wisdom. So here we go. Psalm 127, verse 3, behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb are a reward. That's how we are to see kids and say, thank you, Lord. What a blessing they are. As a father of 3 kids, I got to tell you, I would not trade them for the world. Each and every one of them they're precious. They're different. They each have a unique gift that they bring to the world and to our family. And what an awesome thing it is. Now, again, am I always a perfect dad? No. Are they always perfect kids? No. Right? This is not saying that at all. This is not saying like, you should just expect them to be flawless. And if they step out of line, I think that's the problem is we think when the kids step out of line, well then, we get upset. And again, that's where people get a negative view of children from. It is a lot of work, but it's work that is absolutely worth every second. Every time you have to get up at 3 a.m., every time you got to change those diapers, and that 3 a.m. thing doesn't stop when they become teenagers and when they grow up. You still worry, but here's the thing: we know they're from the Lord, and we know that we want them to serve Him. And what an opportunity we get to, to keep this mission of God going. So kids aren't an interruption of that mission. They are a blessing to it. They teach us, right? God teaches us so much about ourselves, right? God can expose, right, any kind of selfishness, any kind of, some sort of self-centeredness that we might have. Kids will cure you of that because it's all about giving to them, but also, don't miss this, it's not just about giving to your wife or to your kids, but it's also receiving this strength from God, this wisdom from God, this love and this forgiveness that Jesus died to give us. I need that every day. That's the complete picture, if you will, of how to view children and how to live this life of blessing that God gives to us. All right, you have an awesome, awesome day. Hit that subscribe button and share this with somebody, and we'll talk to you next time for another follow through.